A pleasant evening, Minister Thompson and my fellow classmates. I trust that we're all doing well. This evening, Group 9 will be presenting on Organized Business Finances with Caribbean Growth Solution Limited. Let me start by introducing our group members. You have Mr. Huntley Henriquez, Miss Eloise Williams, Miss Simone Douglas, Miss Latoya Francis, and yours truly, Miss Arlene Blake. Let me do an introduction to business finances. Business finances covers the fundamental principles of planning, raising, and managing a company's money to drive growth and operations. It combines accounting, economics, and strategic decision-making to analyze financial statements, manage cash flow, and allocate capital efficiently. Key areas include financial planning, investment analysis, and risk management. Allow me to educate you about organized business finances. Organizing business finances means systematically arranging and managing a company's money matters for smooth operation and growth. It simplifies tracking income, expenses, budgets, and investments. On the topic of organizing business financial at Caribbean Growth Solution Limited requires a structured approach to ensure financial stability and growth, especially in a dynamic business environment. Effective organization starts with clear budgeting, cash flow, monitoring, and compliance with financial regulations. Here at CGS Limited, we deal with finance, capital, analytic, turnover, accounting, growth, securities, and balance. Let me give you a quick overview on CGS Limited. CGS Limited has experienced rapid growth over the past 18 months through service expansion and diversification. However, even though there has been an immense increase in their revenue opportunities, it was discovered that there are significant weaknesses in the organizational financial management system. As senior managers, we are aiming to propose new financial systems alongside policies and procedures that will be designed to restore financial discipline, improve transparency, strengthen accountability and controls, and ensure compliance with regulatory and audit requirements. This will guarantee effective support and long-term sustainability for strategic growth. Our mission at CGS Limited is to deliver sustainable, ethical, and innovative business solutions that strengthen our organizational performance across the Caribbean. And our vision is to become the leading Caribbean business solution provider, recognized for financial accountability, operational excellence, and strategic growth. At CGS, our objective is to design, implement, and to improve systems that will restore financial discipline by implementing effective policies and procedures, to improve transparency, strengthen controls, provide accurate record keeping and documentation systems, and to reduce compliance risk and improve audit readiness.
Good morning, Minister Thompson, Mrs. Barjo, and my fellow colleagues. I will now be presenting on the recommended policies and procedures that can be implemented to handle the challenges being faced at CGS Limited. But before I do that, I will just go ahead and outline a few of the challenges that we have discovered and we would want to address. So the first challenge is weak budgeting and cost control systems. Then there is overspending marketing budget has exceeded 20%. There is also poor cash flow due to delayed receivables and limited financial reporting due to limited financial reporting for decision making, and the manual records are weak, as well as internal controls are also weak. So firstly, I will give us an explanation as to what is a financial policy. And financial policies are policies that are established for guidelines for the financial goals of the company. It decides who makes the financial decisions, and it details how to manage the company's funds. So at this time, I'm going to be presenting a few of the financial policies that we have sought to propose and implement. So the first one is budgetary control policy. And this budgetary control policy says that all departments must stay within their approved budgets, and any overspending over the set limit of, say, a 5 to 10% threshold will require senior management approval. There is also expenditure authorization, and we say here that managers must have clear spending limits, and any large or unusual expenses must have dual approval. We also would want to recommend cash flow, where the organization must maintain a minimum cash reserve level to actively monitor inflow and outflow of all cash and operational commitments. And then we follow up with the credit receivable policy. We move on as well to financial reporting, a financial reporting policy, and here managers and boards are expected to report and include analytical financial statements, performance ratios, and trend analysis. We also recommend record keeping and documentation policy, which speaks to all financial records being accurately maintained, securely stored, and easily retrievable in compliance with regulatory requirements. We also recommend internal control and segregation of duties policy and procurement and vendor management policies. Now let us look at some of the financial procedures that we are aiming to implement. But let us first say, what is a financial procedure? So a financial procedures are the established systematic and recorded protocols that guides and governs how a business handles its monetary resources. It ensures accuracy and compliance to daily operations, outlining the persons responsible for specific financial decisions and those who has the authority to approve and sign them off. So let's just look at some of the procedures that we have proposed to be implemented. Number one, annually prepare the organization budgets, aligning it with the strategic objectives of CGS. Number two, do a monthly review of the budget performance and investigate material variances. Number three, managers must submit the justification for their budgets before approving expenditures. Number four, implement a standardized expense approval and tracking system. Number five, issue invoices promptly upon service delivery and keep a tab on the outstanding receivables. Number six, monitor and follow up on overdue client payments. Number seven, prepare quarterly cash flow forecasts. Now, the benefits of these improved policies and procedures we are seeking to improve are listed here, and they are to establish clear rules for financial accountability, clear rules for spending limits, clear rules for the steps in preparing and monitoring budgets, clear rules to enforce approval systems, clear rules in conducting regular reconciliation, and clear rules in conducting periodic and annual reviews. I now hand over to my colleague, Ms. Simone Douglas.
Thank you, Ms. Williams. Good morning, team. This part of the presentation focuses on improving record keeping and documentation systems at CGS Limited. What is record keeping and documentation? Record keeping and documentation refer to the systematic process of recording, organizing, storing, and maintaining accurate financial and business information. This includes tracking income and expenses, maintaining invoices, receipts, contracts, payroll records, and other supporting financial documents. Effective record keeping is critical because it ensures compliance with financial regulations, strengthens internal financial control, and provides reliable data for management and board-level decision-making. Current record keeping challenges at CGS. At CGS Limited, several weaknesses have been identified in the current record keeping documentation system. First, the organization relies heavily on manual paper-based records. Financial files are often poorly organized, making retrieval slow and inefficient. There are inconsistencies in document storage method across the departments. Document tracking and audit trails are limited, which reduces transparency and accountability. These weaknesses increases the risk of missing, duplicated, inaccurate financial records, all of which expose the company to financial and audit risk. Propose improvements in record keeping and documentation at CGS. To address these challenges, several key factors are proposed. First, implementation of the digital record management system to modernize financial documentation. Second, the standardization of financial documentation procedures across all departments. Third, the establishment of a centralized filing system to ensure consistency and control. Finally, the development of formal record retention policies supported by staff training. These improvements will strengthen financial governance and enhance organization efficiency. The transition to a digital system is a critical step in improving documentation practices. That is one of the steps. A secure cloud-based financial document storage system would allow authorized personnel to access records anytime while maintaining high security standards. Automated backup and recovery functions will protect against data loss due to system failure or unforeseen incidents. Immediate access to financial information will improve reporting timelines and decision-making efficiency. Additionally, users' access control based on job roles will ensure that sensitive financial data is only accessible to authorized staff. Standardizing financial documentation procedure. Standardization ensures consistency and reduces errors. The organization should implement approved document templates for invoices, purchase orders, payment vouchers, and financial reports. Consistent document naming protocols will make retrieval faster and reduce confusion. Document version management will prevent duplication and ensure that only the most current documents are used. Structured approval and authorization process will strengthen internal controls and reduce the risk of fraud or unauthorized transaction. Centralized filing system structure and document control. A centralized filing structure means that all financial documents will be stored in one secure digital repository. This eliminates fragmented storage across departments, Clearly defined records categories such as receivables, payables, payroll contracts, and audits will improve organization. Restricted access ensures confidentiality and compliance with data protection standards. Most importantly, this system allows for faster document retrieval, improved monitoring, and stronger audit readiness. Final, record retention policies, training, and organizational impact. Formal record retention policies must be developed to define how long financial documents should be stored and when they should be securely disposed of. Secure data storage and confidentiality controls must align with the regulatory and data protection requirements. Routine document reviews will ensure accuracy and improve audit preparedness. Continuous staff training is essential to ensure employees understand new systems, compliance standards, and their individual responsibilities. Overall, these improvements will create a culture of accountability, improve financial transparency, and support long-term organizational sustainability. I now pass to my colleague, Mr. Enriquez. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Douglas, Minister Thompson, our esteemed guests, my fellow colleagues, classmates, good afternoon. Now we want to look on what are the proposed internal controls and segregation of duties. Proposing internal controls and segregation of duties involves designing and recommending a system of checks and balances that distributes responsibilities for critical business processes among multiple people to prevent fraud, errors, and unauthorized actions. We want to look on the weaknesses at CGS Solutions growth, the weak internal controls and the segregation of duties. We have identified 4 weaknesses. 1, the inability to effectively manage finances. And this is evident in several instances. Departmental managers authorize expenditures without adequate budget review. We want to look on the delayed payments. The organization has experienced cash flow pressure due to corporate clients' delayed payments. Then we want to look on the inadequate reports. Now, due to the inadequate reports, senior management, they have been unable to adequately assess the financial health of the company, causing a lot of non-decisive decisions. And the compliance risk. The compliance risk now, this involves when they can't make financial or secure financial data to prevent certain fraud or regulatory compliance. Now we want to look on a consequence of when a company allows weak internal controls and segregation of duties. And we have the very famous Stocks and Securities Limited. And this was an investment, a Jamaican investment firm that collapsed in January 2023 due to a massive long-term fraud scheme totaling over 4.7 billion Jamaican dollars, or the equivalent to US $30 million. Now, what are some of the findings that we realize at SSL? Number 1, flagrant management failures. The company was described as having a culture of non-compliance and mismanagement of clients' funds. Number 2, the lack of oversight. There was an absence of proper audit committees and very little, if any, checks and balances were performed on the client's account. Number 3, undetected fraud and unauthorized transfers. Because the same individuals were often responsible for multiple incompatible risks or tasks, such as client onboarding, they were able to move funds without authorization. And number 4, inadequate separation of key roles. Specifically, the function of authorization, custody, record keeping, and reconciliation were not sufficiently separated, which is a fundamental requirement for any security firms. Now we want to look on the proposed internal controls at Caribbean Growth Solutions. Number 1, we're looking at the internal measures. 1, dual signatories on bank account. This is to ensure the legitimate payments, also to control the cash flow. Number 2, we have the monthly bank reconciliation. And this is simply to make sure that these are critical and they must be regular, and it's not often an automated accounting procedure that must match the company's internal cash flow against the bank statement to ensure accuracy. Number 3, the independent review of payroll. Now, this is a systematic third-party audit of the company's payroll, records and processes, and a system to ensure accuracy and also compliance with tax laws. And finally, control access to accounting systems. And this will bring and ensure that we want to implement, monitor, and restrict user permission so as to secure financial data and to prevent fraud. Now we want to look on the proposed segregation of duties at Caribbean Growth Solution. On your screen, you're seeing the function and the responsible officers. The transaction authorization, departmental manager. What this will do, this person will ensure that the internal control processes that are designed ensure that the financial transactions are legitimate and it complies with the company's policy. Payment processing, financial officer, that person is responsible. This person will ensure the accuracy, the timely, and also compliant financial transaction, including managing the account payables. Recording transaction, responsible officer, the accounts officer. This person must collect all source documents like invoices, receipts, and identify, analyze, and critically enter the data into the system. And finally, reconciliation and review. This person is the financial manager. He or she must review and ensure the accuracy, the integrity, and that the company is in compliance with the law. Finally, we want to look on the benefits if CGS Limited uses these proposals. We're looking at risk mitigation, financial transparency, operational efficiency, regulatory compliance, real-time monitoring, and scalability and adaptability. Now I will hand over to my teammate, Ms. Latoya Francis. Thank you.
Good day, Team DBLI. I am Latoya Francis, and I'll be presenting on compliance and audit readiness. Compliance and audit readiness refers to an organization's proactive preparation to meet regulatory, financial, or operational standards during audits, ensuring all processes, documentation, and controls are aligned and verifiable. Now, what this simply means is that compliance and audit readiness means that they're basically playing by the rules and being ready at any time to prove it with strong systems and clean records. For Caribbean Growth Solutions Limited, this is exactly what will fix their weak records, poor controls, and risk of audit problems. So we will now break down the two. Compliance readiness means the business is following all the financial rules that apply, such as tax law, labor laws, contract, and accounting standards. Compliance readiness for Caribbean Growth Solutions includes paying taxes correctly, keeping proper financial records, and following internal policies set by the board. So some of the benefits of compliance readiness include risk reduction. This minimizes the legal penalty, fines, and operational disruptions by identifying gaps early. It also boosts reputation. It builds trust with the stakeholders, customers, and partners. There's also the cost-saving benefit because proactive preparation avoids expensive last-minute fixes, and it also gains efficiency because standardized processes improves productivity and operational flow. What are some of the consequences of non-compliance? There's a financial penalty. The company could face fines of up to millions of dollars for violation. There's also legal repercussions. Violation triggers investigations, which could lead to lawsuits and potential criminal charges, which also can lead to reputational harm, loss of stakeholders' trust and credibility, and damaging long-term credibility as well. There's operational disruption. There'll be a high staff turnover, low morale, and inefficiencies from corrective action disrupt daily workflow operations. How can we apply best practices at CGS Limited? One, you could conduct gap or self-assessment by starting with internal audits to evaluate current policies, staff training, and system requirements. We could also digitize tools, implement monitoring tools such as QuickBooks. This will help to track the financial health of the business to ensure compliance. Could also monitor and document, and also promote a compliance-focused culture and review periodically systems, policies, and follow best practices every day. What is audit readiness? Audit readiness is a process of preparing people, systems, and records for regulatory or internal audits. It ensures companies can demonstrate compliance, maintain transparency, and pass review with few delays or risk. So I will also highlight some of the key benefits of audit readiness. It cuts audit time and costs. Prep documents mean faster review, saving 30 to 50% on fees and staff hours. It builds stakeholders' trust. It shows investors and regulators reliability, unlocking better loans or partnership. They can spot issues early. Regular checks catch errors like cash flow gaps before they escalate. And they also boost efficiency, streamline daily operation with clear processes and real-time insight. Best practices for audit readiness is to conduct self-assessments, implement digital tools, strengthen internal controls, and train staff and document information. Also conduct mock audits, as this will identify or catch any gaps early before an actual audit is done. This is the end of my presentation. I will hand over to my next team member.
So, Minister Thompson, our guests and fellow colleagues, in conclusion, The implementation of these proposed systems marks a pivotal step forward for CGS Limited by enhancing governance and accountability, strengthening financial stability, and supporting the board of directors in making informed decisions. The organization is better equipped to operate with transparency and confidence. Becoming audit ready and fully compliant reinforces trust with stakeholders and lays a solid foundation for sustainable long-term growth. As senior managers, this system positions CGS Limited to accomplish its mission of ethical, accountable, and innovative business leadership across the Caribbean. Now, it's that time. Yes, it's a quiz time. And I want you to just answer the question real fast. All right, I have a special gift for you. Question number 1. After you answer it, then I give you the gift. List one of the proposed policies to be implemented. This is multiple choice. Is it A, is it B, is it C, is it D? Who want to take that question? Real quick and fast.
C, financial reporting policy.
Let us see. Managers must submit your justification of the budget for approved expenditures. I'm going to give you your prize right now. You shall be blessed all the way. God bless you. Question number 2. Using inconsistent file naming conventions helps employees to find documents more easily. True or false?
That would be false. That would definitely be
You
false.
sure?
Positive, because the person will be all over the place looking for the
Let us see so she can get
employee's
her gift.
document.
Let us see. Makes documents harder to find. You shall live and not die. That's your gift. Question number 3. Which of the following internal control measures were proposed to CGS Limited? Multiple choice again. Who wanted that? Real quick.
Can I go again? B?
B or D, you say?
B as in boy.
B as in boy. Let us see if it's B. Primarily used to ensure legitimate payments and cash flow, while monthly bank reconciliations are critically regular, often automated procedures used to ensure accuracy and detect fraud. You want me to give another blessing again? You and your family will live according to the blessing of the Lord. Last question, question 4. Which is the first step for CGS Limited to achieve compliance and audit readiness given disorganized manual records? We want to take that very quickly. Is it
B.
A? Is it
B?
which one?
B?
B.
Who said B?
Me say
B.
B.
Unique.
Go
I,
B?
Selena. B.
Go on, what we say?
B.
No, sir, that's a bomb. That means you're wrong. One more.
He's
Real
wrong. D.
Make us see D. Who says that? Shasun?
Yes, it's D, yes.
D. Make us see
Yeah.
that. All right, this is like how all you get that one, right? I pray the Lord will bless you and your family, health and strength, right until the Lord son you. God bless you. Thank you very much, my fellow colleagues. So these are our references for you to continue. I would just want to thank you for taking the time out. Special thanks to Minister Thompson and our guests and my fellow classmates. God bless you. Thank you. Back over to you, Minister Thompson.